target. Maximum firepower.
Brace for impact!
Hey guys, welcome to the Brace for Impact podcast, where we teach you how to be better at Star Wars Armada. Today we're going to talk a little bit about our most recent YouTube video, give you some impressions of the Clone Wars after playing a few games, and go over some upcoming stuff from AMG about the future of Armada. So I'll throw it to you. We just posted on YouTube our first MatchCast. What did you think about it?
I thought the MatchCast was cool as fuck, dude. Anybody listening, if you haven't already checked out our battle reports on YouTube, and if you have and you think they're too long, we just released the first MatchCast, which is like a 15-minute like Madden play-by-play of one of our Armada games. Really cool. Really gets right into the point of what was important in the game, and you don't have to sit there for like an hour and a half watching it.
Yeah, while I was editing it, I felt like it really gave me an opportunity to deconstruct the game and find out what decisions happened throughout the course of the match that led to the outcome that happened. With the idea of sharing list ideas, sharing setup ideas, sharing strategy ideas, and then taking that and working on being better next time.
Yeah, that's one thing I found that was really interesting about the MatchCast is normally when we do our battle reports, it's just a recording of us playing and talking about whatever the hell is going on while we're playing the game. But you basically recorded our thoughts and basically the intent behind our moves after the fact. And I feel like that was really valuable and really interesting.
Yeah, and I really liked the opportunity to use the telestrator to get the lines on the screen.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Right. Yeah, that was part of the fun. That was what really got me kind of like involved in it.
Yeah, and when you did that like fast forward filter on it, I like lost my mind. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun to edit this. I'm gonna try to do more of these because I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. It was really cool. But what did you think of like the game? Because I know we talked about like the thoughts and everything, but kind of like a post-op. What did you think about this game, Bailout versus Separation Anxiety?
Separation Anxiety is a really strong list, and I don't think that my objective allowed me to take advantage of the fact that I was second player.
Yeah.
I think that your strategy of just putting all of your guns on a single target basically in one round made it so that I think even though we engaged only in turn 4 and 5, you still basically deleted my entire list in 2 rounds of fire. So, obviously full thoughts are in the MatchCast, where I kind of go in detail on all of my mistakes and how to do them differently if you're caught facing an list like Separation Anxiety. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is just how strong that list is, and like
I think that was my takeaway too, because when I was playing this game, I was like, all right, delay, because if I go in like across the board, like only having 3 rounds of squadrons attacking me is much better than 4 rounds or 5 rounds of the squadrons tearing up my shit. So I was like, I'm just gonna delay, set up my fucking cavalry line, and take 1 acclimator out, and then the game will be over, and I'll win with maybe a little bit, like a 7-4 maybe.
Yeah.
But when everything started happening, I was like, I'm doing such an incredible amount of like unmitigatable damage because I can just fix every single dice. I've got a double hit natively, so I'll just TRC another double hit, and I'll crack in an accuracy. Good luck dealing with that. Good luck with dealing with that 4 or 5 times.
Right. And my list couldn't deal with that 4 or 5 times. I think one thing was like looking at Bailout going forward is I don't think I need 2 carrier acclimators. I think I just need Navuta B. And then the other one needs to be able to hit a ship and make it scared to attack
Yeah.
the acclimator. I just went double carriers, so it's like basically I have 2 of the fucking quasars on the field, you know? Like, they're not more defensive than a quasar, really.
You know, that is kind of true because they only have the
Brace
brace redirect.
redirect, right?
Yeah, Quasar only has brace redirect as well. So,
Right. So there's like a 1 more HP, 1 more shield quasar. So,
ugh.
right. So I need to kit one of them out to be able to just look at one of these little guys and just eat him for lunch, right? So
Yeah.
that's my first thought. My second thought was early warning system is really powerful against a list like separation anxiety. If you compare it to, what's it called? ECM,
Mm-hmm.
right? ECM would let me brace one of your 3 dice shots into a 2 dice shot. Or 4 into 2, right?
Yeah.
Like the most it's going to do is save 2 damage or something like that, right?
But early warning system reduces all of my attacks by 1.
Right. So that is significant. And, you know, previous lists I've had early warning system on one of my acclimators. This time I did not. So I'm just kind of looking through bailout versus separation anxiety now. And like the acclimator that engages you first should have been the one with EWS and also the one that's like going to punch back with, you know, swivel mount and, you know, APT or ACM or something like that, and gunnery teams and, you know, I don't know, something to fight back. And then the one that's kind of farther away and safe, he can continue to be boosty comms, you know, pushing squadrons Navuta B kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think doubling down on carriers was kind of
Overkill, maybe?
it was too much in one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much in one direction.
Well, with this one, I had so many dice fixing abilities that I kind of wasted out on like 6 points with the flag bridge and the intensify firepower.
You also went overkill, right?
Yeah, I also went overkill because I put down the intensify firepower and didn't use it at all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you didn't need to. The other thing was just like, and I pointed this out in the MatchCast as well, was like the squadrons didn't attack your ships before my ships were able to attack your ships. Like they just could not get ahead of everything.
yeah,
So part of me is thinking, okay, well, do I bring hyperspace rings? Do I bring what's it called, rapid launch bays, or is this just a positioning issue? And I think that's something that's going to take a few more games for me to be clear on.
I think with the intel changes, rapid launch bays becomes better than it was
for
before
sure.
because you can just kind of keep everything in there and then move in, deploy them, eat some shit up. But I also think one of your big mistakes was like when you went up to speed 2, because I think once you go faster than speed 1, like your arcs cannot get away from your acclimators at that point.
Yep. That's true.
But yeah, I think separation anxiety is like one of the best lists for separatists at the moment because their squadrons are dog shit. And I know they're supposed to be dog shit. That's kind of like the vibe, but man, it hurts to have like 5 or 6 squadrons get pulled off the board in one turn from like flak. Like,
right.
Oh god.
I'm really glad that the first MatchCast was a game where I had like a bunch of really obvious badness in my gameplay.
Yeah.
Because it gave me a lot to talk about. But I am hoping like the next time we do a MatchCast, like, you know, it seemed like most of what I had to talk about was in the first half of the game, and the second half of the game was just like, and here are the results of my failures up to this point. So it'll be interesting to see a game with more decisions later in the match as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's super important to recognize, though, that a lot of the game is decided in like round 0, 1, and 2. And then 3 through 6 are just the results of that. Nothing really
in a lot of ways,
can change. You can't really get out of a situation that you put yourself in from those early turns. And I think that was another thing that you explained a lot in deployment when you said You like circled my hard cell, and you were like, "Yeah, he put it there, and it broke my brain."
Yeah.
So do you think if you
What about?
so do you think if you deployed like cross map from me, would that have been a better situation than trying to drag me across the rocks?
You mean directly across
Yeah.
and jousted closer?
Hmm.
Yes, I do, because I probably wouldn't have been tempted to speed up. I probably would have been able to keep my acclimator speed 1, and I think my squadrons would have gotten on top of you probably turn 3,
Yeah.
and I would just be coming into red range at that time, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because I think both your acclimators had like boosty comms, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think they need to go faster than speed 1 because nothing.
Right.
The squadrons can't outrun the acclimators.
Right. I think that if I had a round where my ships shot at your ships after my squadrons bombed them, like in the same activation,
Hmm.
like I think I start deleting hard cells and separation anxiety falls apart after that. Because a lot of its power is in the fact that there are multiple 3 or 4 damage shots blocking a brace in a single round.
Yeah.
Because none of them are scary like an ISD is scary, right? So once they start popping, I think I have a better time in that fight. But I've just never been able to really do that because they are a little bit bulkier than they seem to be.
Yeah. I love the hard cells though. Like the 3 dice out the front is so amazing. The 3 reds, it's like it's everything
Yeah.
I wanted.
Yeah, they're like really good.
Yeah,
really good.
They're really fucking good.
So we'll see if I can make some adjustments to bail out, and maybe that or a different list will be able to handle separation anxiety. But so far, I think it's 2-0, right?
Against separation anxiety, yeah. It's very strong.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
also,
Well, do you want
I just
to?
think Kraken is strong. I think Kraken is the go-to commander. Like, I don't think Dooku has what it takes right now to be the
Does
leader.
Obi-Wan deal with Kraken better than Bail?
Probably.
I
But
wonder
Bale is so
because
fucking good. Bale is he gives you everything you want.
Bale gives me like engineerings and he gives me, navs, right? But Obi-Wan says, hey, if you redirect, it's -1 damage, right? So those 3 dice shots coming in, like, do you block the brace or do you block the redirect, Like now it's actually a decision for you,
Mhm.
and if you block my brace, I can still redirect and reduce the damage by 1.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what I would do is I would block the redirect every time. You'd use your brace up on the first 2 shots, and then I hit you with the next 2 shots, and then you would have
Yeah.
no brace, no redirect.
Yeah. It's very annoying.
So yeah, I just kept blocking your brace because at the point that I was at, like, if you can't reduce the damage, you've got to spread it on your shields, and you don't have very many shields. So 1, 2, 3, no more shields. Keep blocking the brace. Dead acclimated.
I feel like what actually needs to happen is actually a more strategic thing rather than a list choice thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is the ship that triggers your Kraken that gets into medium. Is it medium range?
It's close medium, yeah.
It needs to die. I need to kill it before everyone else gets to have a party.
Yeah. Once the party happens, it's
really bad for me.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was surprised how easy
anyway.
it is to get that party going.
Yeah, medium range is far.
Big as fuck.
Kraken be good. So do you want to roll into our impressions of the Clone Wars so far?
Yeah, so we both played like a number of Clone Wars games.
Maybe like almost 8 now.
I think more than that. I think we've played 8 games together, and then we did that tournament. So we've had more.
Yeah.
We've had, we've been going against Separatists and Republic, but we've also done Rebels vs. Empire.
That's true. So, your impressions of, what do you want to say, the Separatists specifically, or the rule changes? Like, what are you thinking about here?
The rule changes are probably like one of the best things to happen for Armada, and especially the evade changes specifically.
So good.
There's just no reason for evades to have been unable to do anything at close range. why was that ever the case? I just don't understand why that was the baseline. Yeah, at close range, this defense token does nothing.
Well, I think that the original idea was like, okay, as you get closer to the opponent, evade gets worse and worse, right? So at first it's canceled, then it's reroll, then it's nothing. But the problem is that the ships naturally come together, and when it does nothing, it feels really bad.
Yeah, I agree. And it just made small ships that much worse. But now that they can use evades and doubly use evades against ships that are a higher weight class than them, man, it feels really good.
Yeah.
It feels really, really good. Squadron changes. We've played some games with Intel. The Intel change is just amazing. Like now you can bring token squadrons, and guess what? All your token squadrons at the end of the game will be dead, which is exactly what you fucking brought them for.
Right.
To die.
Oh, you mean they won't be alive while your ships are all dead because of Intel?
Exactly. That was the fucking worst thing.
They just got ignored.
They just got ignored. You brought 70 points of token squadrons, and they're all still alive at the end, and all your ships are dead.
Yeah.
I want them all to be dead. That's what they're there for. Like, anytime I see, like, one of my vultures dying, or one of my TIE fighters dying, I'm like, that is, like, 3 damage mitigated that one of my ships could have taken, you know?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's just so much better, and it still feels really good. Like, you don't really ball up your squadrons quite so much. You kind of want them spread out, and you can still get some bombers on target. Maybe not all 5 on the same target, but you can get a bomber here, bomber there, and kind of spread it out. And then, you know, they won't be able to attack every single round. Maybe they'll get tied up by something that jumps on them. But, I mean, that's the fucking game, is you got to figure out how to get as many squadrons on target as possible for as many rounds as possible. But you just can't guarantee every single round anymore, which was obnoxious. Yeah. Like,
it really was.
Can you imagine playing against an Empire and then all you needed to do to block Merrick Steele was just to send your squadrons at him? And then he's just tied up for the rest of the game? Can you imagine that reality?
Actually, now, yes.
And actually, now it can happen. You don't jump on him. Oh, I didn't do enough damage to kill him in 1 round. They dropped Dengar on me, and now Merrick Steele sends 20 damage into my fucking ISD. Good job. Thanks for playing the game. What do you think of the rules changes?
The rules changes are leading us to, I think, a less damage-heavy game. Ships tend to last a little bit longer. They're a little bit harder to bring down. And you need to be thinking farther ahead than before.
Yeah.
ECM doesn't just come back for you every turn. You have to have an engineering token or command. Gunnery teams doesn't go off for you every turn. You have to concentrate fire. So, those kinds of choices, I think, lead to a game that, in general, stuff doesn't pop as quickly in 1 turn anymore.
That is also really good.
A lot more ships limping away from the battlefield and burning through all of their defense tokens to keep themselves alive, rather than you finding a way to prevent them from using their tokens, and then they just immediately explode.
I've also had that same experience when we're playing games, and when one of my ships dies, I'm like, yeah, it died because my defense tokens were gone. I had used all of them multiple times in the game, and it was over, and then the last 2 damage got through. It's not like I still had 3 defense tokens, you just blocked everything and exploded me with 1,000,000 damage.
Right.
I really like how it feels right now, where a ship will get attacked, and then I'm like, this is its last activation for me. After this, it's probably going to be dead next round. It's not, I move my ship in at full health, and then I pick it up in the same round, and it just gets deleted,
Right. Yeah, I think the game's in a much better place. As for the Clone Wars themselves, I dig I'll speak for the Republic here. I'm digging the Acclimator. I'm digging the Consular slightly less than the Acclimator.
I wonder if you could consider running 3 acclimators. Could that fit in a list and be viable?
Oh, for sure.
Um,
They're like victory priced.
I wonder if that would
So,
be
yeah.
good because like you're kind of down on the consular, but 3
Yeah,
acclimators could be pretty bougie.
I'm not buying another core set. Yeah, my thing with the consular, I think, is like I wanted it to be more of a CR90. I just don't know if it is. Number one, I think its tokens are worse. Let me look at this guy. Yeah, just one evade is worse. And if like we look at the charger,
Yeah.
like okay, like it's got pretty good dice, but the benefit of the double evade was that you could safely TRC every time.
Yeah.
And now you really
Can't. Yeah, you can't do that.
And so it makes me think like, okay, well, I guess you take linked turbo laser towers, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you don't really want a swivel mount battery this, do you? You want a double arc.
Yeah, but Link Turbo Laser Towers is so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like, even the squadron thing you can still only use at close range. See, I don't like that.
Yeah, but the other consular is fucking the one that's good against squadrons is no red dice, you know?
Yeah. I think the armed cruiser is the better version.
Yeah, I agree. It's 8 points cheaper.
I mean that blue black is pretty gnarly.
Oh yeah, she's great. You know, I actually think this is one of the ships that you would actually really like to put external racks on.
Yeah, for sure.
Chances are he's going to go fast and only really have one round of black dice anyway. You know, especially with all of the like salvo. Like,
yeah, salvo is just amazing, dude. It makes it feel like there is shit going on all the fucking time. Every round.
Yeah, it's great.
Every activation, every round of fire is like firing back. I'm shooting now. You attacked out of your side arc. I salvo you, kill you. Now you don't get your front arc. It's so.
Wow. Okay. Here's my 50-point armed cruiser scary time. Are you ready?
Okay. Armed cruiser scary time. Tell me.
Yeah. Okay. Clone Captain Zach. External racks. Swift return.
External racks and swift return. Now, Clone Captain Zach, I don't think you've used him yet.
Not much, no. So yeah, I mean, like, now the side arc is a blue and 2 blacks, and the front arc is 2 blue and 3 blacks.
Ooh.
And it's like, I want to be an MC30 for one round.
I mean, if you've really only got one round of fire, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's a nasty guy right there.
And I wonder, is ECM worth it to guarantee the evade?
No, it's not.
I don't know.
Then you take it from 50 points to 50, or from 49 points to 56 points.
I know.
It's like, that's a big guy right there.
I know.
I would just keep him on the cheap. You do your hit, and you get out.
Yeah.
Like, I think Clone Captain Zach on an armed cruiser would be really good.
Yeah, and then you have a consular charger around with munitions supply.
No. You tap Clone Captain Zach the once, and then you get the benefit. You use Swift Return to get the yaw so that you can guarantee the double arc. You use Clone Captain Zach, you tap him, and then the armed cruiser is going to die, but you've done the damage. Yeah, so you're trying to invest too much into it. Throw it in there, let it die. Right. Let it throw the fucking 9 dice in one round.
Yeah. I just feel like the Republic doesn't have much long-range capability right now. Like, I think the closest you get is an Acclimator 2 with swivel mount and fucking APTs or ACMs and ordnance experts, right? Like,
yeah. But maybe that is their like kind of crutch, is that they can't really do long range. They've got to do squadron fire to kind of like soften up the ships before they get into the optimal range, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of the acclimator, how do you feel about these acclimators?
Bro, I love them, dude. They look so cool. They're so fun. Like, they got good anti-squadron. They got decent defense tokens. Good squadron value, good
They have
engineering.
good anti-squadron, he says. They're rolling blue-black like they're a fucking ISD.
Yeah,
Dude,
or
some
black.
ISDs don't have blue-black.
I know, I'm saying. They're good anti-squadron. Like, almost the entire
It's
Republic
like black,
fleet is
black,
really good
blue-black
anti-squadron.
is like only half of all of the Star Destroyers have black, black, blue-black. It's like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
I'm looking forward to a Venator being the centerpiece of my fleet with one of these swinging around, clearing out the squadrons.
Mm.
Although I'd probably just have an armed cruiser instead. Like,
Yeah.
double blue is so gnarly, dude.
So tell me about these acclimator titles. Implacable, Navuta B.
Navuta is great. Implacable is really hard to pull off and really not worth it.
Yeah. I feel like Navuta B can just be good so many turns of the game, and Implacable is good once. Maybe.
Yeah.
Navuta B is so good. Especially if you have Bomber Command and you're stacking with Arc 170s.
Yep.
They get 2 rerolls. They're like fucking Jedi.
I'm a fan for sure.
What about the squadrons? Tell me about the squadrons. Which ones work? Which
Okay.
ones don't?
Which ones work? Which ones don't? Okay. So Plo Koon and Luminara are really good in terms of the Jedi.
Really good, he says.
All right, and you just stack them with a bunch of torrents, and like they keep that shit alive, and they trade incredibly well. Kit is fine. He's almost like, gosh, he has intel, but like intel's not even that good to like. I don't know. I don't know about Kit right now. Ahsoka, I feel like is just not good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You hate extra attacks?
It's not that I hate extra attacks. It's that. Okay, like, am I here? What am I here to do with my squadrons? Am I here to shoot enemy ships, or am I here to defend my ships? And what Ahsoka says is, no, you're here to kill enemy squadrons. And like, why is that what I want to do? It's not really what I want to do. So, like, it's just not that great, I think.
Yeah.
If my squadrons are shooting your squadrons, right? Like, either they're there just to delay shit, in which case, why do I care how fast I kill your squadrons? Or I should probably be trying to find a way to get them to shoot the ships. So
I agree that
I'm not sold on Ahsoka yet.
Of the Delta Aether Sprite Jedi, I feel like Ahsoka and Kit are the weakest.
Yeah. Anakin is great.
Mm-hmm.
Only 19 points, double reroll out of the gate, and he can't be engaged. Okay, it's incredible. Axe is really cool. He can be used like kind of as one of your aces with a bunch of torrents instead of maybe a Luminar or instead of maybe a Plo Koon.
What do you feel about like his ability? Like if you have Axe, you probably have Luminara. Is his ability like worth it at that point for the cost? Oh my god, he's only 5 more points than a normal V19.
Right.
So he's totally worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Kickback is not that good. The end.
I don't think. Yeah.
Like
the end. Yeah.
Okay, like he can. Now the only interesting thing about Kickback, I think, is like when he attacks, like being able to reposition him to engage another group of squadrons that you maybe couldn't have reached or has gotten out of your range or something like that. Like that could be super annoying, I think. So, like it has potential, but I just am not. I'm not a huge fan. I think the arcs are great. They are basically B-Wings, so they're very slow.
Yeah.
The BTLB Y-Wings are fine. Aether Sprites, I haven't played with the generics, but the name Jedi are fantastic, so a generic is okay. And then the V19 generic, I think, is the standout. Like,
it's so good.
Swarm is so good.
Why is it fucking good, dude?
Yeah, especially with Navuta B and
red,
all of a sudden, like
blue against squadrons is obscene. With a reroll, stop.
You know, you just reroll that red, and like you're like double hit accuracy, and they're like, fuck. Like,
And then you put them under like Luminara and Plo Koon, and it's like
yeah,
you're also obstructed while you're attacking this 5-hull ship that has
yeah,
counter 1. And it's like,
yeah.
ah. I think the Luminara Plo with V19 ball is
Really good.
obnoxiously good.
It's the best like 70 or 80 point squadron ball that the Republic can field right now, I
I
think.
think that anyone can field right now. The best like 90-point
Maybe.
squadron ball.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What about the Seppies?
Let me check out these Seppies. Let me check out these Seppies right here. I've been playing a lot with them. So, the Munificent class comms frigate, I feel, is the better version of the Munificent.
Hmm.
The Star Frigate is like, you trade out your offensive retrofit for a defensive retrofit. And you get 1 black die on anti-squadron. That's it for 3 points.
Yeah.
And you want to cram as much into your separatist lists as possible. So 3 points just for that. And then like, what defensive retrofit am I running? Advanced projectors for 6
Maybe.
points? No. ECM? No. No. Like all of the defensive retrofits, I'm like, no, no, no. I don't want those.
So my thought is, if you're putting Watt with battle droid reserves, who cares what your defensive retrofit is? Just pick up all the damage cards after they put them on you.
Exactly. Like, look, listen. You run a Munificent Comms frigate, you put Watt and battle droid reserves on it. Okay, you don't need a defensive retrofit at that point. Like, it's covered. If you have any hull damage, you just remove them like you're recovering a shield. And then you spend the other 6 points, regain shields, move shields to where you need them to be. Like, needing a defensive retrofit, expensive ones at that, is unnecessary on the Munificent at this point. And then the comms frigate, you can get any offensive retrofit you want. You want boosty comms, get it. Expanded hangar bay, get it. Hyperwave signal boost, I don't know what the fuck to do with that card. I don't know what the fuck to do with that card. I don't know what its role is. It's so that I can do something other than commanding squadrons. So that in the squadron phase I can activate them like they were activated. But they can't move, they can only attack. Which means, to use Hyperwave Signal Boost, my squadrons have to be engaged. And if they're engaged and I didn't activate them this round, that means they're dead.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean they have to be engaged?
Because I can't move them. Therefore, if they want to attack something, they have to be engaged.
Why can't you move them?
Because it doesn't allow you to move them.
It says this turn, when it is your fleet's turn to activate squadrons, you may exhaust this card and choose a number of unactivated friendly squadrons. This turn, activate each of those squadrons.
Yes. While attacking, each of those squadrons with AI are treated as if activated by a squadron command. So during the squadron phase, when you activate a squadron, you can do either move or attack them.
So this card. Okay, so basically what you're saying is, let's say this is turn 3.
Yeah.
Squadron phase. And you, in the ship phase, didn't activate your squadrons.
Mhm.
Let's say 3 or 4 of them.
Yep.
Which means, you want them to shoot with AI. So last turn, you did a squadron command, and they attacked and moved to get into that position.
Yes.
Which means after that, the enemy attacked you during that squadron phase. And now a whole ship phase has happened where they might have attacked you again.
Yeah.
And now we're in the squadron phase after that, and you're going to activate whatever's left of your squadrons.
Yeah, which is going to be none. It's going to none.
Because they all have 3 health?
They all have 3 health. They're all dead. I can activate 1 or 2, maybe. It's just...
It's bad.
It's a weird timing. It's got weird positioning.
Like, here's the thing: just activate them.
Yeah, here's the thing. Just
With a
fucking
squadron
activate
command.
them. Like, what are you doing
Yeah.
with your comms frigate that you didn't activate your fucking squadrons?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you got your thumb up your ass? Like,
Right.
are you doing navs? Why are you doing navs on a munificent? Go speed 2 and be wherever the fuck you want.
Right.
Engineering, we got our boy Emir Tambor over here
Emir Tambor.
to engineer all your fucking shields are back. Like, why aren't you activating your squadrons if you have them? Just do it.
There's nothing else you should be
There's
doing.
nothing
with
else
it,
you
right?
should be doing. Like, put boosty comms, put expanded hangar bay, and activate them.
Don't.
Or reserve hangar deck, which I think is pretty cool for certain situations. But I just don't know its place in this. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird. And don't get me wrong, I wanted to go all in on hyperwave signal boost.
Hyperwave signal boost would be worth it if it could make squadrons who already activated shoot again.
No, that's obscene. That's Yavara's obscene.
No, I mean, like, you're talking about 3 squadrons taking a shot, and maybe it's like a discard card or like whatever. Like,
No, I think that's too good. Too good. It's too good.
I don't know. Well, what it is right now is kind of pointless.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be like some ship that comes out where like hyperwave signal boost is really cool on, but it's not
Yeah.
the comms frigate. Just like there's nothing else you should be doing.
Right.
Like you engineer, you get the token, you engineer with Wat Tambor, and then do the squadrons. The comms frigate does not need to nav. It's got amazing arcs. It's got amazing yaw. It doesn't need to do that. And
Right.
you shouldn't be concentrating with it anyway. Like concentrate fire on a munificent? No. You're just gonna add
get an extra
red
dice.
dice? Yeah, alright. Like my Link turbo laser towers get enough work. You don't need to fucking strain them with that.
Yeah, and the other thing to think about is if you're flying a list with enough squadrons to warrant hyperwave signal boost to be there, let's say how much damage does a concentrate fire add? It's going to be like 0.6 damage on average, right?
Yeah.
Versus how much damage does activating 3 squadrons give? And that answer is always more than 0.6. Like always. More.
Always, yeah. For sure.
If you have squadrons, activating them is, I want to say, always better in terms of raw damage than doing a concentrate. The only time you should be concentrating is when there's no squadron to activate.
Which, at this point in the Separatist life cycle, you should always have squadrons in your list.
Yeah.
There's no way to build Separatists without having squadrons. Unless you're a complete degenerate and you bought like 4 Separatist packs.
That
and
have,
you have
like spam comms
like
frigates.
eight hard cells. And if
Yeah.
you do that, you need therapy.
Yeah.
Because it's just you're lost. I think the ion
you're
cannon
running 300 points of comms frigates, right?
Oh god, that's awful. I think the ion slot for comms frigate is blank.
Is blank?
It's blank. There's nothing you should run in ion. There's no reason to run heavy ion emplacements, ion cannon batteries, MS1s, leading shots, nothing. No, it's blank. There's really no reason.
Is that because there's only 2 dice on the front?
There's only 2 dice on the front. You need 3 blue die to reliably get any of these crit effects. And then what are the other cards for? So you only have 2 blue dice. So HIEs, Overload Pulse, Ion Cannon Batteries, MS1s, NK7s, blah, blah, blah.
None of that's happening.
None of that is happening for you reliably. For sure you can run a game and you'll get one. Woohoo. But
what about with Kraken?
Yeah, you just evade it. Just evade it.
Yeah. Acclimators don't have evade, though.
They do not. That's true. Maybe I'll have to have a talk with my list building department and figure out why they've been slacking on me. Really, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Let's see what we can do.
Wow, Kraken with NK7 ion cannons. Guarantee a blue critical. Exhaust this card to force the defender to discard one of their defense tokens.
NK7 isn't good. We went over that in our
but
ion cannon review, which you can
but
look
you-
up on our
but-
podcast.
But here's what I'm saying. Against medium-based Clone Wars era ships, there is no evade.
Yeah.
You literally just, like, if you point your front arc at them and Kraken goes off, you're discarding their brace.
Well, they'll use their brace and then discard the red one. Or discard their
Okay.
redirect. But
Now it's gone.
the thing is, they're just going to use both of them.
Yeah.
My issue with NK7 is it's one more point than heavy ion emplacements, which the opponent doesn't get to interact with. They don't get to make a decision. They don't get to choose, like, to discard their salvo, you know, because acclimators have
Yeah.
salvo. So they'll spend brace redirect salvo and then discard their salvo. Good job.
But next turn,
Next turn, I mean, maybe at that point there won't
I
be
don't
a
know.
next turn.
I don't know.
Listen,
Something might be there.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, when you said what about Kraken, now I'm
Double comms frigate with NK7 ion cannons and Kraken. I'm telling you that
maybe there's something
there's
there.
power here.
Hmm.
What about swivel mount? You can get an extra blue die.
No, you can't. That's not how swivel mount works, dude.
You can get an extra blue die on the side.
No, you're just taking one from the front. What are you trying to do here? You're trying to stop. Swivel mount does not work with separatists, all right? Like, at this point in the game, it doesn't do anything for you. You can draw one blue from the side. It's like, it doesn't.
Yeah, the Munificent really wants to double arc, doesn't it?
It really wants to double arc, and it's got the best arcs. You can double arc.
Yeah.
If you're not double arcing, you position your Munificent wrong. But I really like the Munificent. I think it's amazing. Staple link turbo laser towers to it. There's no other turbo laser slot you should be putting in
Quad
here.
turbo laser cannons.
No, stop. Why are you doing all these terrible decisions?
Because Kraken gives you the accuracy and then you get a second one.
Here is the
Seems
thing.
good.
Yeah, but I get an accuracy, and then my other two dice are blank.
Well, roll better.
Yeah, exactly. Link turbo laser towers helps you roll better. And
There you
quad
go.
turbo laser cannons doesn't help you on salvo. And Munificent has the best salvo in the game, which is 2 reds.
Why doesn't it help you on salvo?
Because you can't add dice to salvo attacks.
Hmm.
Link turbo laser towers, though, you can still re-roll. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom, baby.
You're obsessed with LTTs.
It is one of the best turbo laser tower upgrades.
Yeah. It's really good.
It's really fucking good. All right, now let me talk about this hard sell. This hard
I'm
sell, holy shit! I love these dorky rockets.
The battle refits?
Oh, both of them are amazing. Hard sell transport, hard sell battle refit, yes, all of them. Hard sell transport has double officer. Yeah, I'll take a Rune Hako.
Wait, are you kidding? Holy shit.
I'll take
OP.
a veteran captain. Or maybe I'm feeling a little frisky. I'll take a T-Series tactical droid and veteran captain. And then
Such a bizarre combo.
And then I'll take like a medical team so I don't get crew crits. What else do we want? Do we want Bomber Command? Maybe. And I'll take Foreman's Labor so before I suffer damage, my total damage is reduced by 1 if I've got shields on that hull zone. And good luck. Good fucking luck, dude. The hard sell transport is probably one of the most versatile support systems in the game. It can do it all. It can be self-sufficient with Rune Hako and the fucking Bomber Command Center. You can send it off with 2 or 3 bombers. Look, Rune Hako, I know how this bitch works now. Whatever you want to do, Rune Hako lets you do it for longer. So you've got your hard sell transport with Bomber Command Center. You send him out. You follow him with 3 bombers. You bank a squadron token, okay? And then you activate you send the 3 bombers out and they attack. And then you roll your red, red, blue. Next
Okay.
turn, you use Rune Hako. You still have to be distance 1 to 5 of a friendly ship because Rune Hako gets scared when he's alone. You've got 2 squadron commands banked on Rune Hako. So then you can take one of those. Now you can do 3 bombers again, red, red, blue. Then next turn, Rune Hako again. Take the squadron token. Activate your 3 bombers again, red, red, blue. Whatever you're attacking is dead at this point.
Well,
with 1 hard cell.
It's been 3 turns.
It's been 3 turns.
Yeah.
But like, and that is 59 points with hard cell transport, Rune Hako, Bomber Command Center. Yeah. And then, look, you're having trouble positioning. Listen. The Separatist squadrons go really fast. They go fast as fuck, actually. So let's add Flight Commander, who's another officer. Now you can resolve your squadron command after you execute your maneuver. If you're having trouble positioning your Bomber Command Center, now you can do your squadrons after. Hard cells right there, right in the thick of things. Bombers go in.
Especially because their ships are so fast, you may be activating them at medium range, and now they're out of Bomber Command Center range.
Exactly. This thing does it all. And you put Veteran Captain, which I'm loving now, T-Series Tactical Droid. Now your hard cell can do anything whenever you want. It can get a full engineering command, nav command. It can do squadrons on the fly with concentrate fire. All you need to do is choose what you want to do that turn. Flip Veteran Captain. Get the command token you want. Tap T-Series Tactical Droid. Now you've got 2 command dials. Boom. It's insane how much this can do. And then it can be a full fucking support ship. All you got to do is put Beast of Burden and then nothing else. Incredible. And we haven't even gotten to token supplying yet. Look, slicer tools. Let's get frisky. We'll put Hondo, Veteran Captain. Now you can slice the tools 3 times in a game. Automatically 59 points. There you go.
Dang, slicer tools is so good. I miss it.
Hard cell transport does it all. It does anything you want, and it does it better than any other support ship. I don't even know what flotillas are going to do for Separatists. They got the hard cell transport.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, also, it can take fighter coordination team and push your squadrons.
Don't talk about fighter coordination.
Okay.
The Separatists don't need fighter coordination team.
They really don't.
No
they go fast as fuck. All of them go speed 4. There's no slow ships. The battle refit. Also amazing, but not quite as versatile. You put TRC on it, and you're done. That's it. That's all you need to put on it. Defensive retrofit is blank right now. There's nothing to put on your hard cell. Come at me. What do you put on a hard cell for defensive retrofit? Cluster bombs? Blech. I know reactive gunnery comes with it, and it was in the preview article, but you can't fucking tell me that that's what you're going to do with your hard cell. Now.
Why not?
Okay. What does reactive gunnery say to do? It says to do salvo. Okay.
There's nothing on the rear.
There's nothing on the rear. Okay, so you can only salvo against squadrons. Okay, am I going to pay 4 points for that? No.
Okay.
Now, there is one thing you can do. Expanded hangar bay. You can put expanded hangar bay on your hard cell battle refits. Bank a token.
Why wouldn't you just take a transport for 5 points less?
Because you can have TRC, expanded hangar bay, and a token, push 3 squadrons, then TRC.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You can do it. It can happen. All right. It's pretty costly. I don't think that's very good, but you can certainly do it. Another thing you can do, have a bunch of hard cell battle refits, kit them out with reserve hangar decks. Now, all of your vultures come back to life. You got zombie vultures.
I mean, coming back to life with 2 health is basically a full...
It's basically full health for a vulture, yeah. It's the hard cells.
Because no matter what, it's dying in 1 shot, right?
No matter what, it's dying in 1 shot. Like, you either kill it or you don't.
Yeah.
Hard cell transport is probably one of the best support ships in the game. Hard cell battle refit isn't very versatile. You put TRC on it. I mean, that's really it for the ships. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
I don't think the Star Frigate is worth. You just get like a big ass like truck of a ship that isn't even as good as a comms frigate. Like, it doesn't do more damage. It just survives more. The only reason I could see someone like running a Star Frigate over a comms frigate is if you already have a comms frigate that has Wat Tambor and Battle Droid reserves, and then you're like, I want another one, but I also want it to be bulky as fuck. So I'll put like
Right, you want to put like ECM on it? Is that what
I'll
you're
put
saying?
like ECM on it. Then I'm like, dude, how are they gonna kill your comms frigate with Wat Tambor on it, and then kill the other one? Or
I think the idea is that they can't.
that they
right?
can't. I mean, maybe you can just sit on an objective for like 6 turns, and if that's how you want to win games. But I want to do damage. I want to kill the other ships. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, if you have a cool Munificent Star Frigate build, put it in the comments. Tell me about it. Go to our YouTube channel and put me on blast. But I don't think it's worth it, the points at this point. Not for just
True.
a defensive retrofit and an extra die on flak. Like, don't tell me that that is better than the comms frigate that can take disposable capacitors or flag bridge and intensify firepower. Like, get the fuck out of here. No, it's not. So let's get to the squadron portion of
Okay.
what's actually fucking good and what we thought was going to be good. Because if we're doing like ass or pass here, there are some ass cards in the squadrons.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Flak Arfok prototypes.
Oh yeah.
They're ass. They're ass, dude.
What's wrong with them?
Well, they're like 19 points.
Yeah.
And their ability tricked me. It tricked me. I was like, God damn,
Why?
that's so fucking good. Like, that's like a reverse Mauler Mythil. So good, right?
Yeah.
Mauler's really good. Flak Arfok prototypes are really good. But you know why Flak Arfok prototypes isn't good? It's because separatists are some selfish cunts. And they don't have any escort. So you send Flak Arfok prototypes in there, and then it dies.
Yeah.
And you don't get to use this ability. Ever. I haven't had Flak Arfok prototypes go off once.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because it just gets shot
it
at.
just gets killed. It's like, they send it in there, and you're like, oh, well, you can use Flak Arfok prototypes defensively. Like, just put it next to your ship, and then they'll move in trying to attack your ship, and then they'll take a damage. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, they won't. They'll just kill Flak Arfok prototypes with their Jedi. They'll lock down its scatter and do 3 damage, like Jedi do.
And then that's it. One ship, it's
Boom,
gone.
dead.
You get the counter too, though.
Great. Counter 2.
Do they still take that damage if you die before they end their activation?
No.
It does seem trash, doesn't it?
Like, it seems good, but using it is trash.
So the Separatists just need an escort ship and then it would be good?
I don't think any separatists will get escort ships, is the thing.
Yeah.
Because then what do you do? DIS T81, he's good. He's good.
Why is he good and the other one isn't?
He's got Snipe 3 with AI anti-squadron, so he's got effectively Snipe 4.
Mm-hmm.
His attacks can't be obstructed, which is good. Counter 2 and Swarm. So you can put him on a rock, you can Snipe 3, Snipe 4. And then if they try to come at you, shoot you on the
You're
rock,
obstructed.
they're obstructed, but you're not. You have counter 2. Everything's good.
That
And
does seem good.
he kind of avoids that whole Squadron Ball, Plo, Luminar, and V19s. Because he can snipe without having to deal with their bullshit.
Right.
But he's also really expensive.
He's cheaper than Flak Arfok.
Yes, but he's still like 2 vultures. He's 2 vultures, dude.
Vultures are bad.
But having like 10 vultures is good.
Mm.
DFS 311 and Horchel prototypes are just not good. They're just not. Their abilities don't do anything. It's like Intel, but that doesn't do anything anymore.
So my thought on Hatter Chal is,
Hatter
wow,
Chaw.
before an enemy ship or squadron at distance 1 moves, you may perform an attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, but like, aren't they engaged with you? How are they moving if they're at distance 1? Are we talking about only things with grit? Like they've given, like, you know?
Well, yes, but also enemy ships. So if I'm in front of a ship,
So you can roll a red at enemy ship that moves away?
yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the worst ability I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really,
because
it's
like,
really
squadrons
bad.
don't generally move away from you.
Yeah, it's really bad is the point.
And then DFS 311. I mean, it's like fine, but it's more expensive than T81, which makes no sense. It seems way worse. You're just bringing him for intel, right?
I feel like they priced him for intel before they changed intel. Because listen, if you're telling me that DFS 311 is good, and you don't know who Jan Ors is,
Jan Ors, is 1 point more than this.
1 point more than this, and is infinitely better than DFS 311. And I know, the faction identities. No, it's 1 point less than Jan fucking Ors. And if you're telling me that DFS 311 is good, get out of the building. Leave the library.
But it's also bad because there's no escort, right?
Yeah, there's no escort. So it's like, okay, I don't want to
killed.
I don't want to deal with DFS 311. I'll kill him. There you go.
Yeah. What about your bomber squadron uniques?
Factoid prototypes is not good. I mean, it's okay, but like just bring DBS 404 and a bunch of generic bombers. Factoid only affects itself, and only when it's activated with AI battery.
Right, because a regular shot, there would only be 1 die, so why would you change it to an accuracy?
Yeah. But if I'm going super hard on bombers to where I have DBS 404 and Factoid prototypes for some reason, I would also have Bomber Command Center. So it's like I'm going to roll 2 reds, and then re-roll 1 with Bomber Command Center, and then change it to an accuracy? No. I'm just going to take a normal one and roll 2 dice and re-roll 1 with Bomber Command Center.
Yeah, and the normal one is 5 points cheaper.
Exactly. But DBS 404, this dude, his ability is untethered, and his rage cannot be contained. This is the most degenerate motherfucker I've ever played with.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He attacks like it's going out of style. I would use his ability every single time. It's so good. He's activated by a squadron. That's +1 red die. He's rolling 2 red die now. Okay?
Would you do it if he had 1 health left?
You can't. Because you take the damage and then he is removed from play. So his ability only goes off 3 times.
That's a lot.
But when someone has DBS 404 and they attack you and you can salvo them, always salvo them. Always, every time. Even if you burn your salvo DBS 404.
Because he's coming for you.
Because he's coming for you. Oh my god. Oh my god. And
there's nothing more degenerate than him rolling accuracy double hit.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just running DBS 404 makes me happy. It does everything I wish bombers would do, which is pretend that they're ships. He does the amount of damage small ships do to big ships.
Yeah.
Always, all the time. 3 red dice, 3 red dice, 3 red dice. In a game, he can roll, if you don't kill him, 11 red dice in 4 rounds.
Yikes.
Which is pretty much average because, round 1 position, round 2 will get in there, and then round 6 he probably won't be able to shoot anything because he'll be dead. But if you give DBS 404 4 rounds of fire, whatever ship that is taking 11 red dice.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
How about Grievous?
Grievous is great. I feel like he should be in every Separatist list. He's so good. He's just so fucking good. Generics.
What's great about him?
Generics just crumple under the weight of General Grievous. They just crumple. He has Relay 2, so if you are bringing a shitload of squadrons, I mean, he can kind of give you like a little boost. Like if you've got like one squadron in range and then the other two, like you moved and now they're out of like position, you didn't set them up properly. Grievous has your back. You Relay 2 off of him, he'll get the other ones, pull them in. Like all of these ships move fast as fuck, dude. They get where they're going.
Yeah.
And you like Relay 2, if they're out of position, speed 4, they get to whatever you're trying to shoot them at. His last ability, Screen, is the worst ability I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so bad. It's awful, actually. It's so fucking
I think you miss Escort.
I miss Escort. I don't think Separatists should have Escort, though.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
Before they changed Intel, I felt like Escort didn't matter. And now that they did change Intel, none of your squadrons have Escort, and you wish that it was
Yeah.
It went from completely useless to incredibly important, and I think that's funny.
Look, like Grievous, he's got Screen, which is terrible. Because either whatever you've got that you're intending to screen with Grievous will just get bracketed and then die, or they'll bracket Grievous and the other stuff they won't be engaged with. But Grievous is always the last to die, which can be good because he doesn't have AI, so he's always rolling double blue,
Full
double
damage.
black. Yeah, he's just really good, way good for his point cost, and he's amazing. I don't think the neutral double ab is worth taking. This is like just take Grievous and don't run multiple double abs. It seems weird. I mean, I guess they're a good like neutral fighter, but
I mean, 15 points for double blue, double black against fighters is pretty good.
that's pretty good. They're so expensive though. 15 points. Ugh.
How much is a Lambda?
Like a normal Lambda?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't run normal Lambdas. Let me see.
A normal Lambda is 15 points. Against squadrons, it rolls 2 black, and it has relay 2.
Yeah, but it also has strategic.
True, strategic is broken.
Yeah, so it's like we're not even.
Yeah.
Not even the
no
same ship.
strategic on either of the Clone Wars factions, huh?
Yeah, I like that. Strategic is broken.
Yeah, it's really good.
Tri-fighters are okay. Hyena droid bombers are amazing. Vultures are amazing. But vultures are only amazing if you're running 5 or more. If you run with only like 2 or 3 vultures, like something's wrong with you.
How do you only have 24 points for squadrons is the real question.
Yeah, like if you're running 3 vultures, you only have 24 points for squadrons. Then I'm like, I don't know what you're running, dude. That's some fucking weird list.
Yeah, at this point you bought 3 core sets, and I can't help you here.
Yeah, I think Kraken is the only commander to run. I don't think
You
Dooku's...
don't like the raid party, huh?
No, I like it. I just don't think it's very good. Like, because I did a game where I had Count Dooku, I had second player for once in my life, and they picked Station Assault. So they got double rated for the first 3 turns of the game.
Yeah.
And I still lost. Because Dooku doesn't do anything to make your fleet better. He cripples the opponent's fleet, and then, if, like I was playing the other person, they have a response for it, you just lose, because you're playing with like a naked fleet that doesn't have a commander buff.
Would it be better to hold back on Dooku until engagement rounds?
Maybe. I think that's what I did with Dooku. But it's just like... I mean, he can be good where if you've got like a choice squadron command, but the opponent can see what command tokens you have on
Yeah.
Dooku. Like, you can't hide them. It's not Thrawn.
Right.
It would be cool if you could hide them, but you can't. So they're like, oh, you've got 2 squadrons and a nav? Okay, cool. I'll start round 1 with a squadron token, and I'll hold that. And then whenever you raid them, they're like, spend my squadron token, do my squadron command. You can't stack raids. And then if you try to stack raids with like, oh, I'll give you an engineering, a squadron, a nav, then they just remove their dial and get rid of all 3 of them. It's like, that does nothing.
True.
I don't like Dooku because he does not benefit your fleet. You're effectively playing with your opponent at like more of a disadvantage. But if you're playing against a Republic player and they've got clone nav officer, then you've got nothing against them. You basically showed up to the table without a commander, and their officer just basically counters Dooku. It's Kraken all the way. You take Kraken. Take Kraken. He does everything for you.
Put a hard sell in medium range and just go to town, huh?
Exactly. Even if you're running heavy squadrons, you take Kraken, you're going to get in range. You've got all red dice. Separatists are all about the red dice. I love Separatists, though. I think they're fucking amazing. They're bulky. They have some cool strategies. I kind of wish they would go faster. They don't go. Yeah. Maybe I'll put like engine techs on them or something. Have them go. But it's fucking great. Great.
So, February 3rd.
Oh, so we're going in the next segment? Yeah, so Atomic Mass Games put out a post, and I think FFG also put out a post, that February 3rd they're doing a live stream talking about their upcoming Star Wars acquisition. So, what do you think they're going to talk about?
They're obviously talking about the next wave of Armada, the next wave of Legion, the next wave of X-Wing, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
There's nothing else to discuss as far as I'm concerned. The thing is, like, Wave 2 of Armada Clone Wars was supposed to be here already, based on their initial outline. Yeah. Now, shit happens, COVID happens, like, we're all in a very forgiving mood with timelines for people because, like, it's been crazy this year. However...
Not that forgiving.
Not communicating is the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So... Hey, they announced the time. They're going to tell us what's up. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping that February we're getting another, like, the release of Armada Clone Wars Wave 2. I think that the other games don't really need anything in February, but I think there will be stuff for them coming in February as well. I think it'll all be dropping in February, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think it's time to move quickly, and I think Atomic Mass Games is a company that can move quickly, so we'll see how it rolls out.
I think a lot of their quickness has to do with them only having one game. Like, I don't know if anybody else knows this, but they've only ever done Marvel Crisis Protocol. Right. So, if you've only got one game to work on and not an entire shelf load of games like FFG, I mean, I know there's other dedicated teams, but if all your focus is on Marvel Crisis Protocol and you don't even have to sell pre-painted models, pretty sure you can churn them out pretty quick.
Right.
My issue is what kind of vision they have for Armada. Like, are they going to try and bring it into a more traditional kind of miniatures model where they sell kits of unbuilt, unpainted models like a lot of miniature companies do?
Yeah.
And push them out quickly like that, or if they're going to keep it more in line with what FFG has been doing, take the time, paint the models,
sell them fully assembled,
which honestly FFG has been producing some of the best quality miniatures that I've ever seen in my entire life. Not just for games, but anywhere. Like, if you go to any store, all of their models of Star Wars ships look like dog shit compared to FFG, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that.
I would be very surprised if they changed the X-Wing formula much to start with.
Yeah.
Just because it's the popular kid on the block, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it is good to be popular.
Armada is also a popular game, but it's less popular than X-Wing, and the miniatures are larger, so I could imagine them transitioning, but I still don't think it would be for this upcoming wave.
Yeah.
I think any changes would be happening after
Well,
Wave 2 of Clone Wars.
Listen, what I want to hear, and in my dreams I hear these very words, where they say that we've been closely working with the developers of X game, and they've shared with us their plans and their goals and their projections for the way the game is going to be and the balancing issues they've had and what to work on moving forward for the next X number of years. That's what I want to hear. Because you can't just pick up a game and be able to start developing it from whatever point you're at without knowing some of the issues that they've dodged. Like, what if they make another Demolisher?
Right.
Or another Avenger? You know, they're like, oh, this effect isn't in the game. Let's make that. It'll be pretty cool. It's not in the game because it's horseshit to play with, you know?
Right. I would be surprised if they said something that explicit, even if it was true. But
I mean, I agree with you. That's just in my dreams what I hear. And it always seems pretty good to me. I don't think we're going to hear much at all. Because this announcement dropped, what, like December?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, they don't have the time to transfer everything over to AMG and be ready. They're like, oh, all the production is on the way, guys. It'll be February 4th and we're shipping out the boat, you know? I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that Wave 2, for Armada at least, was basically finished by FFG as the last thing that they did.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not even sure whose company's logo is going to be on the box, but it was developed by FFG. There's no way that AMG has had time to create an expansion yet, right?
It'd be funny if they shipped them and they just had like an AMG sticker they put over FFG. That would be cold-blooded though. Like just let FFG have their fucking swan song and
right.
You know.
So I think best case scenario for me is, and I'm only really talking about Armada. The other games can, you know, do whatever they want. You know, they show off Wave 2. They say, here are the ships. We're going to have articles coming out over the rest of the month. They're shipping in February, you know, whatever day. And, like, this is, you know, 2 sentences about, like, we're working on new expansions that are coming out later this year for Clone Wars. And maybe here's a, you know, a preview shot, like kind of like they did last time, or you know, something to that effect, right? Some sort of tease of like, this is what we're thinking about in the future. If they don't have that, totally understandable. They've had the product for like 4 weeks, right? So, yeah, that's my hope.
Yeah, I just want to hear something.
Yep.
Anything at this point. Because I was expecting like articles like at the end of December, and then, I mean, obviously we didn't get to hear anything, but
yeah, I think based on FFG and the way they were communicating last year, I think they were very surprised at the change.
Yeah, I feel like they were surprised as well. I was surprised.
Because they were like, you know, Q1 2020, we're going to have Wave 2, blah, 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 you know, like, and then it's like, yoink. And so I think a lot of chaos probably happened to lead to this February 3rd announcement.
But I mean, listen, I've heard Marvel Crisis Protocol is like a fun game, so could be good.
That's good.
Could be good moving forward, but
yeah.
No one knows. I'm not too concerned with like general game stuff and like changes. Like I'm always expecting changes. Game changes all the time. That's not really the important part. It's the direction of change
Sure.
that I want to emphasize is the area of concern.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, everyone. If you've stumbled upon this podcast and you haven't really seen our YouTube channel or all of the battle reports that we've been doing, I don't know how you got here. But kind of make your way over to our YouTube channel of the same name. Watch our videos. Leave a comment. They always brighten my day.
Stop. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.